Was she taken, or did she leave on her own? Or has she forsaken this life to dwell in the unknown? There's been so much said about Sydney West's disappearance for only the few facts that's been released, leaving too much room for speculation. This is Sydney's story, through the eyes of strangers. Sydney was born on July 11th, 2001. The name Sydney had special meaning to her parents after visiting and falling in love with Australia. Sydney lived most of her life in Pleasanton, California, but during her high school years, her parents moved the family to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, a whole world away from her life in California. But she seemed to take it in stride and tried to keep herself busy, and busy she was. She succeeded in normal academic standards, plus her athletic abilities was phenomenal, with volleyball being one of her passions, and she excelled at it all. She's a well-spoken young lady that carried herself well. She always was a young, empathetic environmentalist. Her love for animals and nature enhanced her glowing free spirit. Sydney was also loved by the arts. She loved writing and all kinds of art, but her favorite form of expression was music. She has a beautiful voice and actually has written her own songs. For a girl that seemed to be on a journey to conquer the world, she had another side to her. She suffered from depression and anxiety. After graduating high school in 2019 and not getting into the college she applied for, she decided to take a year off where, according to her blog, she was experiencing spurts of depression on top of her anxiety. It was said during this time she enjoyed traveling with her family, then took an internship at her dad's company, in which she undoubtedly did not enjoy. In one of her social media posts, she did say she tried to quit several times, but eventually was blamed for losing her internship by her father. She sounded very depressed in the post and stated she wanted to cry. The depression and anxiety from being a perfectionist is a heavy burden to carry, especially when you're a teenager and trying to be perfect in everything you do, thinking it will gain more acceptance and love from your parents and friends. It's a dark place for anyone to be, not being able to see past your own thoughts. Sydney was eventually accepted into UC Berkeley, and in August of 2020, Sydney moved back to California to begin her classes. Her family helped her move into her dormitory, and while she had not declared a major, she showed a strong interest in medicine, business, and biological sciences. She also joined the school's rowing team, but after only being there a couple of weeks, she decided to drop out. She seemed excited about the fresh start at the University of California at Berkeley. Friends and family said, but after she dropped out, a family member stated she was having a difficult time adjusting. She left Berkeley and said to be living with friends in San Francisco. There are rumors that have not been proven as fact, but it was said she dropped out of Berkeley very early in the semester out of fear because she had falsified her college application and was afraid her paperwork was going to be audited. At that time, she started staying with friends because she was angry at her parents for having her committed to a hospital for mental health issues for 2 weeks between late August and her disappearance in September. Let us stress, there has been no proof shown to prove these allegations or the statement that she was staying in a motel. What we do know is on September 30th, 2020, Sydney decided to go for a hike before daylight in the vicinity of Crissy Field and the Golden Gate Bridge. Sydney's case is still under investigation, but it was stated that someone that closely resembles Sydney was seen on the bridge's video surveillance camera, but they were unable to make a positive identification due to the fog that morning. Unfortunately, there was no more information released about her disappearance except her parents saying they did not think she ran away. It has been expressed that information is not being released to the public and the family continues to reach out for help for her. One of the most asked questions is, how did she get to Crissy Field, the Golden Gate Bridge area? Was she alone? We all know what it looks like, an apparent suicide, but are we jumping too quickly to conclusions? She could just as easily been abducted. There's no clear conclusion of her disappearance. Maybe she walked away from life. There's no law saying an adult cannot move on with their life without contacting their friends and relatives, even though that would be the honorable thing to do. Law enforcement nor her family has any idea where Sydney is. That has to be the most agonizing pain a parent can possibly feel, the not knowing. Her father was the last person to communicate with Sydney that night before her disappearance. Information about their interaction that morning has not been released, other than she was hanging out in the city in the days and hours before her disappearance. Her phone last pinged early a.m. on 9:30. Her bank account has not been accessed since her disappearance. Her parents have said they have logged onto her social media accounts and have removed certain things on them, but investigators know what was removed and why. Sydney's parents have felt under scrutiny since her disappearance. We must remember we all have been a teenager before with the struggles they go through. Many of us have raised teenagers and know that a struggle is that as well. We shouldn't be so quick to judge if we haven't been on both sides of that fence. Life is hard enough in general, but adding depression to the mix or coping with a loved one with depression is a struggle all of its own. The definition or symptom of a depressed person isn't always sadness. It's whatever symptom that they choose to let you see. The West family has held numerous vigils for Sydney, which have occurred in both North Carolina and California. The family has also hired a private investigator who is working alongside the San Francisco Police Department. The family is asking anyone who frequents the Golden Gate Bridge area, either on their commute to work or for physical activity, to please come forward with any information that you may have. They are particularly interested in learning if anyone saw anything suspicious on the morning Sydney went missing. Sydney West went missing from the Crissy Field area of San Francisco, California on September 30th, 2020. She was 19 years old and was last seen wearing either black tights or black shorts, a teal hoodie, and a dark green and black slip-up on-band shoes. It's said that she might have a black backpack with her because she was carrying it for a period of time, and she may or may not have been wearing prescription glasses at the time of her disappearance. Sydney is tall and a slim build, standing at 5'10" and weighing approximately 130 to 135 pounds. She has light brown hair that was either styled in a bun or a ponytail, and she has blue eyes. Currently, the case is classified as an at-risk missing person, given Sydney's history of depression. Those with information regarding the case are asked to contact the San Francisco Police Department tip line at 415-575-4444 or the family's private investigator at 925-705-8328. North Carolina residents are asked to contact the Orange County Sheriff's Office at 919-245-2909. The administrators of the Missing Truth is sending prayers to Sydney's family. May peace be with you all. For further updates on Sydney's case, subscribe to the Missing Truth to receive notifications. Like us and leave us a comment. If you have a family member or a friend that is missing and you feel their case has not received enough exposure and you want it to be heard, please feel free to contact us by email at themissingtruth1@gmail.com or private message us on our Facebook page. Like our Facebook page and join our private Facebook group. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. And always remember, some sort of truth remains in a lie. Have a good night.